Good afternoon, you sports fans. This is Raphael, as far as I'm DocSports.com, giving you a free, that's right, free live YouTube show I called Ask a Bookie. I think it's my second one over here at Doc Sports. I hope you guys all know that all our video free plays are over here at Doc Sports. So don't forget to chime on in, give all our videos a thumbs up when you're watching our free videos over at Doc Sports. Don't forget to subscribe to Doc Sports. Don't forget to hit that alarm code that shows when we have live stuff going up. So again, don't forget to check us all over at Doc Sports. You have Scott Spreitzer doing free videos. You got Tony George. You got Indian Cowboy, Vernon Croy. So don't forget to check us all over here at DocSports.com, giving you some free winners all week long. Don't forget to subscribe to Doc Sports YouTube channel. And again, this is Raphael Esparza for another segment of Ask a Bookie. So just chime on in. We already had a question on YouTube. Today I'll wait for 2 o'clock. I started early today because I was just excited to do another segment. We finally got some Wi-Fi over here. As everyone knows that I'm here over in New Orleans. Probably going to be here for a while because suffering is doing some stuff for the hurricane because I do have a home here and got a little bit of damage with Hurricane Ida, and my wife's art studio is here as well. So we'll be chiming on in, probably doing the rest of the stuff. Hopefully get back to the West Coast sometime soon, but probably going to be, I don't want to say stuck here in New Orleans, but we'll probably be here helping the wife out with all her stuff. So again, this is Raphael Esparza from DocSports.com. Don't forget to check us all out. Don't forget to subscribe to the Doc Sports YouTube channel, and we're going to chime on in to talking a little college football this segment, talk a little NFL, whatever you guys want to chime on in, whatever you guys want to talk about, we're free over here. But let me jump over to Twitter because someone asked us today about a 5-unit play. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'm going to make sure I get his question correctly over somewhere in it was early this morning one. It was from our boy Sportsbook Consigliere. I probably just butchered that, but he asked me, what is the difference between a 5-star play and how do people make it a 5-star play versus a 4-star play? So our unit system is pretty much, it's a 8-unit system is usually our game of the years. I usually try to break it down as this. Our 8 unit is probably, if you want to look at it this way, I break it down into $100 increments. It's if you're $800, $880 to win 800 on that. This is our top play. You can use it for $1,000 system, $100 system. 8 unit is our max over here at DocSports.com. And I look at it as a $100 unit play. So if you're looking to make it 5 units, so that's a $550 play to win 500. And that's the number that we're giving out. There's sometimes I give out a play that is a 5-unit play, and let's say the Lakers are -4. But when you look at that and it's now Lakers -5 or 6, I don't know if I would put that on there as a 5-unit play because the number has changed. So make sure you look at the number what you got compared to what number we released, because sometimes these numbers have changed. And you can always, for me, I'm only speaking for myself. I can't speak for any other handicapper at Doc Sports or any other handicapper out there in the world. We can say that. But if I release a play, a 5-unit play, let's say Lakers -4, and all of a sudden the Lakers are now -6, feel free to DM me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want. Feel free to know that, hey, Raphael, I bought your NBA package. It's now you have Lakers -2, and now it's -5, or the number has changed. What would you do? And sometimes I would say, hey, still let it fly for that 5-unit play. Or sometimes I'll say, hey, you know what? Maybe bump it down to 3 because I really thought the number is a good number. And sometimes that number lost value. So always make sure the number you always make sure you get the best number that you can get. So sometimes you might have to wait and see what the betting public, if it's a late game, perfect example for football this week. There's a lot of good, nice matchups late that I think numbers could change. We'll talk about. I'm giving you maybe we'll look at Utah BYU -7 on the road. If you think maybe some BYU money was coming, what's the right now? Tickets counts are pretty much coming down BYU side right now. Maybe that number will come down to 6.5. You have plenty of time to wait. Why would you bet that Utah BYU number now if you're looking to take Utah? Why would you lay 7? See if you can get the best number. See if it drops down to 6.5. So there's sometimes you can always wait to see if you can get the best number. This number opened up at 5.5 months ago, and now it bumped all the way up to 7. This thing might come down. So I would say wait and make sure, again, you get the best number as possible. So always, again, make sure you get the best number as possible so you can chime on in and stuff like that. So again, if you have any questions over here at the show at Ask a Bookie, feel free to chime on in. If you have a play and you're a little bit questionable, you can ask me anything you want here in this segment. It's called Ask a Bookie for a reason. So don't forget to chime on in anytime you have a questions. We'll talk about the game last night. The Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay. I had the under in this play, fell really, really short. And I think one of the handicappers had the over. So one of us won, one of us lost. I did have a 4-unit play on the under, but boy, man, that defense was nowhere to be found yesterday. And I'm a little bit shocked at how bad the Tampa Bay defense looked, making the Dallas Cowboy offense look like a Pro Bowl offense. So a little bit shocked at how bad the defense played. But again, Tom Brady wins another one. So what are you going to do when it comes to Tom Brady and all that? But so we'll bounce back and get some winners this coming Sunday. But some really, really good college football matchups. We'll start with today, Kansas, Coastal Carolina. This would be a great college basketball play if Kansas, because I really like the way Coastal Carolina is going to return some of their starters in college hoops. But it's a football game, and I do believe Coastal Carolina will have no problem scoring. I kind of like the over on both these games tonight between Kansas and Coastal Carolina. That total dropped down to a little bit to 52. There's some 52.5 if you shop around, but if you get 52, I think you get some really, really good value on the over on that one. And I would say look at, what was the other one? UTEP Boise State, really like the over on that game as well, 56.5. There's some 57s still popping up out there. So again, make sure you get the best number when on that. So I think both of these college football games go over UTEP, Boise State. I think UTEP will be able to run the ball against Boise State, and I think Boise State will be able to score some touchdowns against that UTEP defense. But Saturday's game should be some really, really good head-to-head matchups. Really excited. Oregon, Ohio State. I don't know why this game is at 12 o'clock. This game should have been at least a 2:30 game, a 3:30 matchup. It's a little bit shocking at how bad some of these football game matchup time zones are. I know Ohio State usually plays this game, but you're playing Oregon, a Pac-12 conference team. Why can't you make this a late afternoon game? Leaning towards Ohio State. I think they cover this game just because of the missing defensive guys that will not be playing for the Ducks. But a little bit shocked that they didn't move this, or they didn't release the time a little bit later afternoon. I don't understand why this is a 12 o'clock kickoff. Yeah, I know it's at the shoe, but come on, you're playing a Pac-12 team, Oregon, both teams ranked. Change it to a good afternoon game. A little bit blows my mind on the matchups in this one. But that's probably the best matchup, I think, in the afternoon. Tulsa, Oklahoma State. I think it should be a very interesting game. I think a lot of points would be scored on that. Well, a little bit shocked that number came down. Total opened up at 54.5. It's now 51. So a little bit shocked on how low that total is on that game. So looking to bounce back and betting some totals. We fell short on some totals, but let's face it, I can't wait to watch Iowa State at the 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Numbers 4.5. Some shops, again, here's another perfect example. Make sure you shop around, get the best number on that one. Iowa, if you're looking at Iowa, make sure you can get the 4.5. If you're looking to bet Iowa State, make sure you get 4. I don't see this one coming off 4.5. I think it's going to stick around either those two numbers. So I definitely make sure you get the best number on that game. But again, should be a fantastic matchup. And then another times, a great time zone, Texas A&M, Colorado. Really, really high on Texas A&M, but that's a big number for the Buffs at home plus 17. I would take a shot if I can get a better number, 17.5, or I might take a shot and maybe the Buffs, but should be a really, really good, interesting matchup. John, welcome to the show of Ask a Bookie. Thanks for chiming on in. What's your lock on MLB today? There's no such thing as a lock. First of all, that's a old selling ploy in our industry and a bad word to use in a sports book. If anyone came up to the ticket booth when I used to work on the Vegas Strip, when I say this is my lock of the day, it was almost a guaranteed loser. So there's no such thing as a lock. But there's some really good, interesting baseball games there. There's a game going on right now between the Cubs and Giants. I was almost want to pull the trigger on taking the Cubs plus money against Chris Bryant coming back home against the Chicago Cubs of Hendricks on the mound. But there's some interesting matchups. I would probably look to maybe fade John Lester, take the Cincinnati Reds. They need some wins. As Cincinnati does, there's some bad losses. I would say continue to fade the Yankees until they prove you something different. I would say take the Mets. I'm not saying it's my lock, but I really like that plus money on the Mets if you can get the plus money on that one. There's some totals I kind of like. I like some unders on the Texas Oakland game. Over in the Yankees Met game, I think we see some runs in that one. But those are kind of games I'm kind of leaning towards on that one. But again, nothing really lock sticks out. I would probably fade the Cardinals a little bit and maybe fade the Yankees. But I would say continue to fade the Yankees until they prove you something different. But that's what I'm looking at, John. Hope that kind of helps you out. If not, like I said, there's nothing like I don't really care for a big lock on baseball. Had a bad. I thought the Reds Rockies game when it went over yesterday had to over 8, and of course the finals 4-3. So we needed one more run to cash that ticket. But like I said, we'll win some games. But thanks for chiming on in, John. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. I hope you have a great weekend, John. Hope you cash some big baseball tickets tonight. Maybe some college football and NFL all weekend long. So, John, thanks for chiming on in. Hope again you have a fantastic weekend. But let's get back to some college football. Where did we leave off? We were talking about some of the afternoon games. Really excited to watch Appalachian State Miami Florida game. I'm more interested to see, okay, if Miami Florida busts out a butt whipping against App State, does that mean Alabama is just really good? Or let's say if App State wins on the road at the U, does that mean Miami's really bad? Or Alabama is just, I don't want to say mediocre, but this gets very interesting. I mean, the number opened up 8. It's now 9 for the U. I don't understand the big line movement. So I'm going to wait back and see what this one goes around. Again, you just get some time on this one to 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But I'm very intrigued on that one. I might pull the trigger on taking the U if that comes down, because I do think they're a much better team than what we saw when they played Alabama. So that should be a very interesting game. Another game that's got me intrigued. I almost pulled the trigger on releasing as a Docs play. Eastern Michigan, Western, a total of 52. Opened up 51 and a half. Really want to see what Wisconsin does in a bounce-back game against a bad game against Penn State. I think they can score points against Eastern Michigan. I think Eastern Michigan could probably put up maybe 10 points or more against Wisconsin. So I wanted to pull the trigger on betting that over 52, but I was a little bit gun-shy on that one. But I want to wait to see what that total does tomorrow night. But I'm really interested to see that game. Another interesting game that probably people are not realizing, Liberty-Troy should be a fantastic matchup. Liberty opened up a 6-point favorite. Now they're only -4. If this continues to go down, if I get 3 on this one, which I'm probably just wishful thinking, but I might lay Liberty -3 on a row. But right now, there's pretty much 4s across the board. So can't wait to see what that number. Texas, Arkansas should be another fantastic 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Old rivals that's going to renew their rivalry when Texas joins the SEC. But give me the Hogs plus the points. I think the Hogs will be able to run the ball and control the clock a little bit against Texas. I think Texas wins this game, maybe 4 points or less. But I'll take the Hogs plus the touchdown at home. Should be a fantastic matchup. And another 7:30 game I think that's going to be really good and fun to watch is Missouri-Kentucky. Missouri versus Kentucky at home. This one opened up 4.5, quickly jumped around to 5.5. There is some 5s out there. Again, shop around when you're betting numbers. Don't just because you only have one sports book, DraftKings, FanDuel, William Hill, BetMGM, whatever you have. I always tell people, create another book so you can get the best number. If you only have one book, that means you're pretty much only getting one number. So if you at least get 2 books, you can get the best number out there. So make sure you get the best number. Like if you're looking to bet Kentucky, there's some 4.5s and some 5s out there. But if you're only DraftKings that only has 5.5, then you're pretty much limited. So make sure you get the best number as possible. It's I highly recommend getting that best number. So again, there's tons of options out there here in the States now. You got William Hill, you got DraftKings, you got FanDuel, you got BetMGM. Probably missing a whole bunch of ones, BetWin, Caesars, and stuff like that. So again, make sure you sign up and get the best best number as possible when you're looking into that. But I can't wait to watch Missouri, Kentucky. I think Kentucky wins this game. I think they'll be able to win the ball. Joey, what's going on? I'm curious how you determine the strength of your plays. I agonize trying to determine my strength. That's a very good question. It's hard. what I do is I make my as an old Vegas odds maker and still an odds maker, a global odds maker, but I don't do a lot of. I mostly do prop bets and future bets as I do numbers. But I still make my own college football. I make my own numbers for every sport. So I look at my numbers before I look at what the odds makers release or the sportsbook release, and I usually circle the ones I have that I have the differences on. If I'm going to use the Texas Arkansas game as an example, Joey. If I made Texas a 5-point favorite and now the number is 7, that's a 2-point difference. Then I start researching that game, and then I start circling, see if that's going to be one of my top plays. So if it's a 2-point difference, then I might look at Arkansas as a 4-unit play or stuff like that. So there's certain games that I look at with my numbers and what the sports books released, and try to do my numbers. And there's some totals. As you guys know, I'm a big totals person. If some of my totals I think is a little soft, and a team has been scoring a lot of points or running the ball out of well, that's how I usually look at that one. But it's very hard to determine my strength of plays. It's a lot of work trying to figure out. I usually find my plays I'm going to release, and then just start figuring out which ones are going to be the stronger ones, which ones are going to be a medium, stuff like that. That's why I don't release. Some handicappers will release multiple big unit plays on college football or in the NFL. I just try to release just one of them because it's, like I said, it's hard to figure out which one's the best one, because I usually put a lot of value on some of my plays that I'm releasing and some of my plays that I'm betting in general. So that's what I usually use. I hope I helped you out, Joey. But again, find the best ones that you think that has the best value, and that's the one that you want to pull the trigger. Ross, welcome to the show. Thanks for chiming in. I like St. Louis and the Reds. I guess you're talking baseball on that one. I understand St. Louis starting to play some really good baseball. I just can't trust John Lester on this one, even though he's not the same John Lester we've seen in a couple of years. Reds have been horrible. I mean, if I had to play this game, I would probably pass. Maybe look at the over on this one. I thought a little value on the 8.5. You can get even money on 8.5. But I understand why you like St. Louis. They're playing better baseball. But I'm just not a big fan of John Lester, what he has done as of late. But totally understand. But I kind of lean towards the over on that one. If I had to pull the trigger, I think we'll see some runs scored. I need to call my brother. See, he lives in St. Louis. I need to see what the wind is doing or what it look like. Reds took 2 from the Dodgers. So the Dodgers are struggling as well, Ross. So I'm looking to fade the Dodgers. I wanted to fade them. I'm waiting to see how high, because it's a late game. I'm probably looking to play the San Diego with Musgrave. Musgrave's pitching a lot better as of late for the Padres. So I'm looking to fade the Dodgers again tonight. I'm just waiting. It's a late game. This one opened up minus 170. It was minus 150. DraftKings has minus 160. Wow, Bookmaker has 165. If I can get 160 or higher, I'm going to look to take the Padres for a small coin tonight. I'm just looking to wait to see how high it goes, because why would you play the Yankees or the Dodgers? Both of them have been struggling on that one. So I'm looking to that one. But good luck on Ross on your play tonight. It's hard for me to say I'll root for the Cardinals for you because I'm a Cubs fan. But since you chimed on in, you're watching the show, I'll root for the Cardinals just a little bit for you as you get a W. I always want to see someone get some cash out of you. So, Ross, hope you win today and get some cash. But good luck on all your plays, Ross, and good luck this weekend on college football, NFL, or whatever you like to bet, baseball. Don't forget to some soccer play as well. So good luck on all your stuff, Ross. Hope you cash big this weekend and all your stuff. I think let's jump back into some college football. Let's refresh our screen so we can get Utah, BYU. We were going. Stanford, USC. I'm a little bit shocked at how high this one goes. I know Stanford's defense is going to probably struggle all season long, and I know USC wants to show the world that, hey, it's not just UCLA playing in the Pac-12, because right now the flavor of the month in the Pac-12 is UCLA as they beat LSU last week. So I'm really curious to see what USC does against Stanford at home. I think they could probably put up a big number, maybe a lopsided score on that one. So I'm looking to see if this number drops. Probably won't. I wanted to see if it goes down to 16.5, maybe 16, but I think it's probably going to stay 17 or higher for USC on that one. But it should be very interesting. And there's a couple of extra games that I'm waiting to see how high some of these numbers go. I mean, Alabama's number was what I saw. Alabama number was it 53? I think it was against Mercer. Yeah, 53 on Alabama. Total is 58.5. Kind of want to see If this one gets bet down or gets bet up, I can't believe the total is 58.5 for that game. I think Alabama could put up 60 against Mercer's defense at will. So there's some added games I'm looking to see how high or some kind of discrepancies on some of these games. Clemson against South Carolina State. Clemson's 49.5. How are they going to bounce back off a horrible showing on offense against Georgia? So there's some games I can't wait to see what happens on them. But let's go dive on into some NFL games. We're going to do some NFL games I kind of like. Buffalo, Pittsburgh, very interesting. I think this number is just way too high. I didn't release anything in this one. I'm going to sit back and watch this. You guys all know I'm not sold on Buffalo's play or play this maybe all season. I still think New England wins the division. And let's face it, New England is my favorite to win the Super Bowl. I have a future bet on them. I think New England and mac and cheese roll and win the division. So I'm gonna no play on this one, but if I had to pick, I would take Pittsburgh plus the points against Buffalo. Again, it's a lot of points on this one. Did I lose signal? I think I lost my signal. I don't know if I still have a signal out there, guys. Can someone chime on in if I have a signal? Let's see.